Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I'm going to start off with a question. What is the scariest part of anxiety and panic attacks? Well, I'll give you a few seconds to think that over. You're right. It's the symptoms, the somatic symptoms that come along with the anxiety and panic attacks. It's the body symptoms, the sweats, the shaking, the breathlessness, the dizziness, etc., etc. Well, today's video is actually going to be why you should not be afraid of the symptoms of anxiety and panic attacks. Sounds kind of unconventional, doesn't it? But I'm going to tell you why it's not so far-fetched, okay? Because really, in our day-to-day lives, as we go through them, we are attacked by like just a plethora of different symptoms, and they come from all different like angles and ways, and it's like once you get over one hump, another symptom like emerges and kind of puts you back in that scary spot. And I think that's what it was designed to do. I don't know why, but I mean, really at the basis of this whole anxiety and panic thing, really what it is, it's just this big alarm system. I mean, it is trying to draw your attention to something. And I mean, it's hard to wrap your mind around that because it's like no one wants to feel worried, no one wants to feel scared, but anxiety really, I guess, is designed in some way or another to continually alert yourself to something scary or worrisome. So, I guess I'm going to start off today by maybe listing some of the most conventional and cookie cutter textbook, anxiety symptoms, which are some of the ones that you're probably experiencing, most frequently. And then we'll get into some of the ones that are not so frequent and they're a little bit more unorthodox and the ones that make your doctor just kind of shake his head and slow blink at you, which kind of sucks and puts you on that blacklist. So, first and foremost, breathlessness. Feeling like you can't breathe, a sensitivity to light, feeling dizzy, just the constant adrenaline rushes, tingling in the hands, feet, the whole nine. Like those seem to be, your common core cookie cutter anxiety symptoms. Well, why should you not fear those? Well, I mean, I'm sure if you've done any research on your own, those are basically fight or flight symptoms, right? I mean, they're, give or take, things that were designed to, with you from your reptilian brain from the beginning of time to defend yourself. So it's like you get the sensitivity to light. Why does that happen? Well, when you hit the fight or flight response, your pupils dilate to allow in more light, so you can see what is attacking you. Of course, anxiety and panic attacks, typically there's really nothing attacking you, so, it's really just a bothersome side effect. Um, you know, being dizzy, obviously it's like your breathing shallows because you're actually kind of just awaiting whatever this attacker is. And I mean, we all know like anxiety has no face, no name, no tangible enemy that you can defend yourself against. I mean, you're really defending yourself against your own mind. So, with that being said, you get the tingling, obviously when your body starts to lose oxygen and you start to hyperventilate, of course you're going to get a tingling feeling. The dizziness, the tingling, not being able to breathe, sensitivity to light. Hmm, let's see. I mean, those are your basics. And those, are what we all kind of start off with. But then it starts to, progressively, I guess, get worse. It starts to learn, that you kind of know what's going on at that point, and it starts to kind of transcend it into, deeper, scarier, yeah, more physical and somatic symptoms. Like the joint pain, the chest pains, the head pressure, the jaw pain, the shakes, your heart's beating very, very fast. All of those things you've now hit level 2. Congratulations. I mean, that's, you've hit the next slew of horrible symptoms that are going to scare you. But, I mean, let's break that down for a minute. And I want to start with the body aches and pains and like the chest pains and things like that. And what causes that? Because, I mean, a lot of the folks that I actually work with or I talk to on a weekly basis, most of them, especially when we started, all complained about the joint pains, and their back hurts and their chest hurts, and obviously chest pains are a scary thing. I mean, considering a lot of people that have chest pains, they assume it's a heart attack. I mean, that's a scary thing. Having pressure in your head, it's an aneurysm, but it's not. I mean, none of those things are real. Those are not real. I mean, you have to think about it this way, and it's like, have you ever said to yourself, you're like, my panic attacks come on because of my symptoms. It's your basic chicken before the egg. But the fact of the matter is the symptoms came along because of your subconscious thinking and your negative thinking, or playing these scenarios in your mind. And I mean, what do I mean by this? I mean, do you ever, I mean, I guess everyone's different, but I guess I'll take myself for example, where it's like, once I'm in the shower, like, I don't take 5-minute showers, I take like 25-minute showers, and it's because I'm sitting in there like daydreaming or playing over old scenarios in my head, and basically kind of playing the day that's ahead of me before it even happens. And it's never really, you know, positive things. I mean, it's basically like breaking down like maybe arguments that I'll have at work, or things that I may have to deal with at work or otherwise. And I'm playing these things out and how I'm going to defend myself, or my rebuttals, or what I'm going to say, or how angry I'm going to get, or how irritated I'll be by all the slew of all these questions and attacks or whatever it may be. Same thing within the car. But thing of it is like, I mean, you creating these things, as much you don't like kind of see them on the surface as a worry or a stressor, in your subconscious they are extremely um, just that. They will kind of prep your body to defend itself, whether it be it'll defend itself, whether it be like with a physical assault, which probably isn't going to happen, but be like a verbal assault, or someone attacking you or questioning you, etc., etc., or maybe having a conversation with somebody that you really don't want to have. Well, that's all percolating in the back of your mind, like the old style coffee pots. It's just brewing, and no matter the fact of the matter that it's in your mind and that you're playing this in your brain, your body is still prepping itself as though it's actually happening in real time. It is prepping itself. And what we tend to not notice is our bodies just kind of locking up and stiffening up. And, I mean, holding a muscle or a joint in a particular position, like, say clenched fists, or, like shrugging your shoulders, ducking your neck, whatever. It's a fear response, but it's also like a prep response to prepare for whatever battle that you're about to have. Like I said, whether it be physical or just a verbal altercation. So, of course, I mean, when you consistently hold your body in those types of positions, and you tense those muscles, even unknowingly, of course, like, what's going to be the end result? You're going to get some sort of discomfort or pain. I mean, the only thing that I can compare it to that I think would be like universal that everyone has experienced at some point in time is when you, like, say when you wear a hat, okay? And this isn't going to be for those that have shaved heads, but I mean those of us that actually, have a good amount of hair, you put the hat on, and you've had it on, say, all day long. Whether it was your work hat, or you went out with friends or whatever it was, and then you take that hat off, and when you like touch your hair, it sort of hurts, right? Because you bent it in a position that it didn't want to be in. It was unnatural, and that's the same thing with your body aches and pains. You're going to feel all of those things. Plus, I mean, obviously the stress of being so tense, you know, what happens when you coil a spring and you finally let it go? You let it go and it springs all over the place. Well, with your body, it can't spring really anywhere besides the few, centimeters that you've tightened it in. And of course, there's going to be some discomfort there. So you shouldn't fear that. You're breathing. You shouldn't fear that. Why? Because you are doing it. You are shallow breathing. The dizziness, it's a subsymptom of not breathing correctly. So, I mean, being dizzy, yeah. But what happens when you're dizzy? Okay? Like, getting back to those, like, aches and pains, those body aches. What happens when you're dizzy? or when you're about to fall down, what do? Think about that for a second. Like, imagine that you're about to fall down. What would be your first reaction? What is that? Yep, you're right, to brace yourself. Okay? So that's basically the same exact concept with this. Is when you start to get dizzy, your body is bracing itself for a fall, to fall over, to pass out, whatever it is. Even the slightest, in the slightest way, it is prepping itself. So yet again, your body is tensing, 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 which is going to cause pain all over your body. I mean, whether it's your knee joints, feet, neck, back, shoulders, elbows, fingers, any of those, and especially the chest, especially for me, or stomach. I mean, all those things, clenching your jaw. I mean, all of those are subsymptoms of being clenched and prepping your body for battle, you know? So, also, if we move forward to maybe say level 3, you know, stranger symptoms, maybe the uncommon ones, the ones that may make you feel crazy. And, you know, in a previous video, it was actually one of my very first videos, I talked about some of the weirder ones that I had, like, you know, convincing myself that I could no longer walk, convincing myself that I wasn't speaking correctly, or, you know, just being over analytical to every little thing that's being said to me, you know, and thinking that I know what someone's thinking, or I, I I mean, you get the point. I mean, there's a lot of like crazy symptoms out there, you know, like having to pee every 35 seconds, you know, like it's just a subset of symptoms due to the anxiety. And that's why you shouldn't fear them, because I mean, if you were to go about and write down all of those symptoms, you know, and when you get those symptoms, obviously there is a greater either a disease, ailment, illness, or whatever that you assume is causing them. And we talked about this in a previous video. It's like if you were to write down all those symptoms and then what you thought all those symptoms represented, like say you had some jaw pain and you had some tingling on your left side, and then you had some chest pains, and maybe you were sweating and you felt hot, and blah, blah, blah. But all those are sub-symptoms of what? Heart attack. Very good. So, of course, you're going to think heart attack. That's extremely scary. You know, thinking that you're having a heart attack, oh my God, and then that's going to bring on even more symptoms, because now you're really shallow breathing, and now you're like, what the hell should I do? You know, you're looking all around, you don't know what to do. But if you were to write all of those down, and then what you thought they were all going to cause, ask yourself that simple question. We talked about this. What actually happened? What actually happened after you had all those symptoms? Nothing. Nothing happened. That's why you shouldn't fear them. You should not fear them. I mean, granted, I mean, when you're at a certain age, or you lead a certain lifestyle that may lead into, say, a heart attack or heart disease, of course, yes, take it seriously. Like, I'm not telling you every time you ever get a chest pain for the rest of your life that you should not be concerned. But I mean, consider you've been diagnosed with anxiety, or you've come to terms with the fact that this is what this is. This is anxiety that's causing this. You know, why do you continually allow these symptoms to scare you? See, myself, you know, a lot of times I'll get like weird heart palpitations, and I'll, you know, get a chest pain here or there. And I'm going to share with you what the best defense to all of those symptoms is. I'm going to share with you my number one secret. Okay, this is number one in regards to symptoms, especially once you've already been checked out by your doctor and they've told you don't have heart disease. Okay, this is what you're going to do. All of a sudden, you know, you've been thinking about some weird shit all day, or you've been thinking about some things that have been scaring you, and uh-oh, here it comes. I can't really breathe that good, and I'm starting to feel a little dizzy. Jaw's starting to hurt. Oh, man. Here we go again. Here comes, uh-oh, arm tingles or joint pain. Uh-oh, oh God, here's the chest pains. Okay, here we go. Here comes my 900th heart attack that hasn't killed me. Yep, here it comes. Oh God, and then you're pacing and you're wondering what you should do in that exact moment. You're like, what do I need to do? Do I need to go to the hospital? Should I call somebody? Do I need to take a baby aspirin? Maybe I just need to lie down for a minute. Maybe I need to do this. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Well, I'll tell you exactly what you should be doing at that exact moment. Nothing. Does that sound weird? Does that sound unconventional and unorthodox enough for you? Yeah, you do nothing. That is my number one defense to these symptoms, especially when they're focused in on a specific one that I've had checked out 40 times, give or take. How many EKGs did I say that I've had in my lifetime? 30 some. How many times have I gone to the ER over thinking I'm having a heart attack? Probably 30 some. I mean, but never once was that ever the case. I never had a heart attack. And God forbid I ever do. And of course, if I lead the right lifestyle and I do all the right things to try to make sure I don't have a heart attack or get heart disease, then I've done everything that I can possibly do. Outside of that, that's not up to me. If my body still ends up failing me later on in life, that's just the nature of the beast, and I accept that. And that was something before I never could accept. I could never accept that I didn't have control over everything. And neither do you. You don't have control over everything. You know what you do have the control of? Is doing nothing. Same thing when someone's pissing you off. They're saying some rude shit to you. You know how you don't overreact? You do nothing. You walk away. Same thing with these symptoms. Treat it like a bully. It's trying to, hey, poking you, poking fun at you, making fun of you, trying to get your goat, trying to get you to react. You do nothing. What happens to that bully? Eventually they get bored and they move on. And this is the same damn scenario. That's why you should not fear your anxiety symptoms. Granted, the heart attack example is just one of many, but I mean, I could pertain this to damn near any kind of symptoms that you have. Any symptom that you have, any symptom set, subset, whatever you think that end result is, like I said, if you were to journal it, each and every time you thought that you had that, you never ended up having it, okay? So what you're going to do from now on is do nothing. Sit there, let it happen, okay? Start having like a weird chest pains, and start having weird jaw pains, you start feeling these things and everything like that. Do nothing. Don't react to it. It's funny because just like a real bully, it does go away. What I do in the car, like my mind starts wandering and running amok with all these millions of thoughts of all these things that could happen. Yeah, it'll get me sometimes. It tries to get me all worked up, and I start feeling pressure in my head and start feeling a little dizzy, lightheaded, whatever. But then I'll pop in something that actually kind of stimulates me intellectually. You know what I mean? Like I personally love Tony Robbins CDs and things like that about growth, or just learning new things. I mean, I just got done listening to a book on CD called Art of War, which is pretty awesome. And it's like if I were to get in the vehicle and just go in silence, my mind tends to run amok. But when I find something that's very stimulating to me, I become focused on that, not on the bullshit, which is those symptoms. So I mean, really, in most scenarios when I don't have access to something, like I will, if the symptoms come on, I do nothing. And I know that's going to be a hard thing to wrap your mind around, because for so long, when your symptoms come about, you automatically go into this, I have to do something. I have to do something. I can't just sit here and let myself die. Well, you're not dying, so just do nothing and let it pass. I mean, like I said with the bully, the quicker you stop listening to them try to torture you, or anxiety try to torture you, your mind trying to torture you, the sooner you stop listening, stop reacting, the sooner it goes away. So this is one that I feel as though will help you long term. Please continue to use your journal. Like I said, journal everything that happens. I'm telling you. Like, you will love going back and reading and laughing to yourself at some of these crazy things. I know this isn't easy. It's never been easy. I never claimed it to be. Okay? I clawed myself back from ground zero. You can do it too. And this is just another tool for the toolbox. And what is that tool? Doing nothing. Again, thank you guys for watching. I hope this helps some people. Please go to my channel. Got a lot of good videos on there for you to watch. Check them out. Feel free to send me a message or a comment, please like, subscribe, and share. And like I said, hopefully we'll see you guys soon. All right, have a good one.